The pain started as something I could ignore. A pressure behind my right eye, dull, inconsistent, the kind of thing you blame on screens or stress or bad sleep. I mentioned it during a routine checkup. The doctor frowned slightly and ordered imaging just to be safe. The scan came back abnormal. Not catastrophic, not urgent, but unclear enough to start a process. The referral went out, the insurance portal updated. Status: pre-authorization pending. I didn't panic. I had insurance. Good insurance, employer-sponsored, the kind people brag about. The specialist appointment was scheduled anyway. By the time I sat in the waiting room, the pain had sharpened. Still manageable, still ignorable, until the doctor said the word growth. Probably benign, she said quickly, but it needs treatment. She explained options: radiation, monitoring, surgery if necessary. I nodded through it all. Your insurance should cover this, she added. Should is a dangerous word. The authorization request was submitted that afternoon. 3 days later, I received an automated message. Your request is under medical review. No action is required at this time. Again, no action required. Again, time moving anyway. The pain worsened. I called the insurance number listed on my card. After navigating the menu, a representative answered. Yes, she said. Your case is under utilization review. What does that mean? I asked. It means our clinical team is evaluating medical necessity. My doctor says it's necessary, I said. Our team considers guidelines, she said. Whose guidelines? She didn't answer directly. Decisions are evidence-based, she said. How long does it take? Typically 5 to 7 business days. The specialist wanted to proceed sooner. We can't, her office said. Not without authorization. I asked what would happen if we did. You'd be responsible for the full cost, they said. The number made my chest tighten. I waited. Day 4, the pain started waking me up at night. Day 5, I received another email. Additional documentation requested. They wanted more imaging, more notes, more proof. The doctor submitted everything within hours. The clock reset. I went back to the portal compulsively. The language never changed. Under review. Friends told me to stay calm. You're insured, they said. This stuff always works out, but my body didn't care about reassurance. It only cared about time. On day 9, the pain spiked suddenly while I was at work, sharp enough to blur my vision. I went to the They treated the pain, stabilized me, ran tests. This isn't an emergency yet, the attending said, but it could become one. Can you do the procedure? I asked. He shook his head. Insurance won't approve it through the I laughed once, weakly. So, what do I do? Follow up with your provider, he said. The discharge paperwork listed my insurance as active. Active didn't feel accurate. The denial arrived the next morning. Not dramatic, not cruel, just precise. The requested treatment does not meet criteria for immediate intervention under current policy guidelines. I read it 3 times. Then I scrolled. Next steps. You may appeal this decision. The appeal instructions were long, detailed, structured, designed for someone who wasn't in pain. I called again. The representative this time sounded more tired. Yes, she said, your request was denied. On what basis? I asked. Risk stratification, she said. Risk of what? Progression, she said. Based on population level outcomes. So because I'm not sick enough yet, she repeated, neutral. You won't cover the treatment that prevents me from getting worse. She paused. Our policies are designed to ensure appropriate care, she said. For who? I asked. She didn't answer. The appeal required a physician statement. My doctor was furious. This is absurd, she said. This is exactly when treatment is most effective. She submitted the appeal herself. Marked urgent, the portal updated again. Appeal received. Estimated review time, 14 days. 14 days felt like a sentence. The pain spread. Migraines became constant. Nausea followed. I stopped working. Sick days ran out. Vacation days followed. HR was understanding. For now, the specialist adjusted my medication, managed symptoms, bought time. But time wasn't what I needed. I needed approval. On day 8 of the appeal, I received a letter by mail, printed, formal. It explained that while my condition was acknowledged, coverage decisions were made according to standardized pathways. It listed studies, data, percentages. No, where did it mention me? I called and asked to speak to the medical reviewer. That's not possible, the representative said. So no one who made this decision has spoken to my doctor. Decisions are based on documentation, she said, and if I get worse, you can reapply if your condition changes. I hung up and cried for the first time since this started. Not from fear, from anger, because I realized something. The system wasn't trying to help me recover. It was waiting for me to deteriorate enough to justify the expense. I went back to a week later. This time, I collapsed. The pain overwhelmed everything. They admitted me immediately. Tests showed progression. Sudden, significant, the procedure was scheduled that night. No authorization required, because now it was an emergency. I signed consent forms through the haze. When I woke up, the pain was gone, replaced by something else. A nurse told me the surgery went well. The insurance will cover this, she said kindly. Of course they would, because now I qualified. Recovery was slow but steady. The bills arrived faster. Despite coverage, my responsibility was staggering. Out-of-network charges. This wouldn't have happened if they'd approved it earlier, I said. The woman sighed. I hear that a lot, she said. Months later, I received a follow-up letter from insurance. Your appeal has been resolved. I opened it with shaking hands. Appeal approved. Effective date, the day of my emergency admission. I laughed. A short, broken sound. They approved the treatment. Just not in time to prevent the damage. I'm stable now, recovering. Grateful, everyone tells me. And I am, but sometimes I think about the version of me who waited, who followed instructions, who trusted that under review meant someone was looking out for me. No one ever denied that I was sick. They just decided it carefully, statistically, that I could wait.